Hey guys, back with another album review. This time it's Get Fixed by Cursive, which is sort of a surprise album from them. Just released this week, but announced about 2 weeks ago. They'd been releasing some singles for the past month or so, and we wasn't sure if it was leading to an album or if they were just releasing songs. And yeah, announced that Get Fixed was coming out, which is sort of crazy because just about a year ago, Vitriola came out. And I believe that they've come out and said that they recorded both of these albums together at the same time. So I'm not sure if these are just songs that didn't make the Vitriola cut or if they had planned on releasing these songs. But regardless, I have to say that I've listened to this album quite a few times since it's been released today, and it's already made a pretty huge impact. It's just, I'd say even for Cursive standards, it is a weird and aggressive album, and I love that. Vitriola had that anger to it, a lot of political themes, a lot of social themes, timely issues portrayed on that album with just with vitriol, you know. And this album is no different in that way, but stylistically and musically, this album is, I think, quite a bit different than Vitriol. It is probably I want to say it's their weirdest album to date, but that's probably not true because they've made a history and a career of making weird albums. That's what they do. They sort of recreate themselves from album to album. But this is definitely a weird album, not only musically, but there's some weird lyrical songs in here that I really appreciate. What's interesting with this album is that some of the first singles that were released didn't really hit with me, but then I've heard them now within the context of the album, and I like all the songs. I like every single song on this album. I'm not saying it's the best album of the year, but it's one of them. It's one of the best albums of the year. And for a band that I think has made, you know, some of my favorite albums of all time, the fact that they can still release stuff that I find very enjoyable and gripping and just intense and somewhat emotional, very weird, artistic, it is mind-blowing that they still got that in them, that they can create something this unique this far into their career. A song like Barricades, when it was released, I didn't think much of it. And I think the case with that is that when stuff gets released as a lyric video, I'm paying more attention to the lyrics that pop up instead of just getting lost in the songs. And I did that with the first couple songs in this. Then eventually they released the song Marigolds, and I just listened to it without watching the lyrics. And that song is a really haunting and beautiful and very sad song, pretty relatable with its themes. And you know, in retrospect, Barricades is very good too. The anger sits there, and you know, you got the other two songs, Black Hole Town and Stranded Satellite, are very good songs. Also very relatable. I think at times this sort of feels like a sequel to Happy Hollow, which had that sort of a concept and sort of progressive feel to it, and sort of telling this story about this town, a very conservative town. Of course, this doesn't completely sound like Happy Hollow. There's just strands of it that sound like that. And the song like Horror is a Human Being, like, I'm just reminded of their song Big Bang from Happy Hollow with the piercing trumpet and it sort of sounds a little bit like King Crimson too, from something early King Crimson, like in the Court of the Crimson King. And it's that experimental and art approach to this album that really hooked me. I'd say the second half of the album is probably even better than the first half. Of course, the first half is filled with songs that I've been listening to a while now. So the second half is full of songs that I've just been listening to for like a day, for today basically. And all of them are really good, especially the title track, Get Fixed, which I think is my favorite song. I'm not 100% sure. That could change. And ending with a song like What's Gotten Into You, which is just haunting. And Vitriola also ended with a very haunting song, so maybe that's a new trend with them, ending with something that's heavy musically and thematically. Overall, Get Fixed is a really nice surprise. An album that I didn't think was going to come out this year. I didn't even know that they were going to release an album this year, when I got a chance to listen to it with barely any anticipation, which is nice, when something just springs up on you and you can just listen to it without having to wait for months and months and months. And I think that's an approach that a lot of other bands are taking here recently. Bayside did the same thing just last week with their new album, and I think I like it. I like when albums just come up out of nowhere. I like it. It's a new approach to releasing music, and I really appreciate it. But I'm gonna give Get Fixed an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely one of the stronger rock albums of the year, and probably one of the better albums of the year. Did you get a chance to listen to Get Fixed by Cursive? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.